Hey there, Hofstra fans, and welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report here on GoHofstra.com. I'm your host, Julian Coulter, joined by the head coach of the Hofstra Pride men's lacrosse team, Seth Tierney. Coach, feels good to be back.
Good to be back. Thanks for having me, Julian.
Let's talk first and foremost about a year removed, one of the best seasons in recent memory for this Hofstra Pride team. You guys capture the CAA regular season title. A lot of great goal scoring, a lot of great defense, a fun year all around. Now that 2014 has passed, what were your thoughts on it now that it's in the books?
Yeah, certainly maybe sweet bitter instead of bittersweet because of how it ended. But we thought it was a good year. The record was good. We had a couple of games we'd like to have back. We're slowly turning into college football, where one of these losses can knock you out of any at-large entertaining that could be. So we need to learn from that, and we're excited. Guys are angry. We've gotten off to a decent start so far in the spring. We've got a couple of injuries we got to tend to, and a couple of depth issues that we need to correct. But with that being said, we're excited to get going.
Talk about this year. Before we go any further, obviously some very sombering news in the offseason. Joe Fariso passes away. From your standpoint, a great teammate, a great friend to so many players. What did he mean to the program, and how do you guys plan to honor him this year?
I mean, Joe was that guy. He was that guy where walk on, tried out for the team, made the team, and then he did everything that you expected, and then some. He did everything that you wanted, and then some. And he just handled himself so well and just wanted to work. That's all he did, is just wanted to work and get better at everything that he did. He had such balance in his life. So this is going to be with us for a while. This is rough. We had a chance to have some closure in regards to seeing Joe off, but his family and our lacrosse family, the tough part is just coming up, and certainly his family, where it's the toughest part. We had a chance to see Mr. and Mrs. the other day as we were leaving to go up to Syracuse to scrimmage them in Lemoyne, and they huddled the team up and had some great words for us, which was so strong of them. We're going to obviously honor Joe internally to the highest degree, and then externally, you're going to see, you'll see some patches, you'll see some things on shirts, breaking of huddles. There's a few other things that are going to take place. We've got a memorial fund set up that is really growing in leaps and bounds at this point in time. You can get any information from that on our website, and we look forward to a few other things that we're going to break out. The guys, Mike Malave, one of our captains, he asked for some sticks, and they had they had Joe's number dyed in all their sticks, and there was a little piece that came out. I want to thank Warrior and Lacrosse Unlimited for their piece in that, and certainly Mike Malave to have the insight to do that. So it was a rough couple of days that are leading into a rougher couple of days, and as I said when I had first heard the news, if we can't play with him, we're going to play for him today.
Coach, let's move on to the start of this season. And you mentioned a couple of things that go here and there, but when it comes down to it, obviously with the end of each season, there's graduation of seniors and grad students. There's the incoming of a new recruiting class. But breaking down, I guess, sort of spot by spot on this team, we'll start with the offense. You guys got probably, you can make the case, the most talented player in the Colonial Athletic Association, top player in the country in San Linares, preseason player of the year. How do you see the offense shaping out?
Yeah, Sam is certainly a very talented player, and he's nicked up right now, and he didn't play in our scrimmages last week, and even the week before he was laboring a little bit. So we've shut him down a little bit, and we hope to get him back soon. Then things are going to work around Sam a little bit, but we've got two newcomers at the attack. I would love to tell you who they are. I'm just still not sure. Briar Davis stepped up this weekend. Brendan Kavanaugh did a good job. Trevor Kopecki did a good job. Zach Franco, Mitch Kingsley. We have a host of guys that we're still kind of evaluating. Then at the midfield, we thought we were going to be deeper than we are, but it's still working out okay. Mike Malave leading that group with Corey Hendrickson, Brian Von Bargen, Tyler Begley, Dylan Alderman, Tim Golden, Alex Mosier, guys like that are just they're doing a good job leading some of the younger guys, some of the younger names that you might not recognize, but you will shortly, and those guys are they're focused at the top. So offensively, Coach Brazel does a wonderful job. Again, some of these nicks and injuries have prevented us from kind of moving forward in the preseason. I'm not overly concerned. We've got 2 weeks to prepare for our first game versus Marquette on Valentine's Day, and we'll have enough time to get some of that stuff in. So offensively, if we could just stay focused and take a turn from baseball, just hit the singles and not go for the home runs, I think we'll be okay. So we just have to have some poise and play with some confidence.
From the offensive midfield unit now to the defensive midfield unit, it seems like such a long time. It's been 4 years already that you've had John Reicher, Romano, as well as Riley out there as your rope unit. What have they meant to the program over these last 4 years? Is it weird to think that they were coming in as freshmen just back in 2011 and all of a sudden they're seniors?
Yeah, no question. I mean, those guys have been with us, and again, you mentioned it, they played from day one. And Riley, Romano, and Reicher, certainly there's some other coaches that can't believe they're back for another year just because they've heard their name so much. But, we're thrilled about those guys. They've done a great job for Hofstra lacrosse. They're angry because there's been times where they thought that they could, maybe do a little bit more or get the team to do a little bit more. So there's a main focus there, and we're certainly going to run them into the ground because next year they'll be out in the real world. So, we're thrilled. John Reicher was hurt last year, had a broken bone in his foot. Riley's been nicked up this year a little bit, and Steve Romano, is a big-time athlete. So all three of them, we're looking to get them all as healthy as we can prior to the beginning of the year.
You talk Ryan Riley specifically because he's the man this year that gets the opportunity to wear that number 27 with the Nick Howell jersey and everything that means to the program. What sort of characteristics does he distribute that reminded you so much of Nick and earned him the honor to wear that jersey?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, I think, knows he's not 6'4", 210 walking into a room, but he plays like he's 6'4", 210, and that's probably the biggest characteristic of Nick Howell. He was an overachiever. He was relentless. He just, effort-wise, the coaching staff has to use a certain amount of effort to get him off the field. He, after a long possession, he's still going out to the face-off wing. I got it. Even when he doesn't got it, he's still going out there. So we have to get a larger hook and make sure that we pace him throughout the long haul of the year. But again, it's just his approach to everything. He's a winner in everything that he does, in the classroom, off the field, never an issue. Effort-wise, he's there. And he's turned himself into quite a leader.
Now onto the defensive end. Last year, really, we saw the evolution of a guy like Finn Sullivan, who took that defense to the next level after you guys had one of the best defenses in the conference 2 years ago, best in the nation a couple of years ago. You have him. Of course, you have a guy like Chris Selva backstopping it in goal. What do you expect to see on the defensive end?
Yeah, I mean, again, Finn Sullivan is we knew that this was in Finn when we had recruited him, and Finn he's one of those guys where you don't want to overcoach. He's a very smart player. He loves to compete, and he's also a guy that is now starting to demand some excellence out of his teammates. With two new guys, whether they're sophomores or freshmen, he's going to be running next to two new guys. He certainly has the umbrella of Reicher, Riley, and Romano up top, and so we'll see how he does. But certainly we're thrilled that Finn has done a great job of kind of evolving into the leader of our defense. And he's a Hofstra defender. He's a hard-nosed, blue-collar. He brings some of that Boston pride to our team in that defensive area. And even if you're a New York fan, you can certainly side with Finn because he brings a little presence to him.
The last spot on it is obviously one of the most important, winning in the face-off circle. And last year you saw a guy like Chris Clark who really just went out there and dominated some of the best face-off guys in the conference, which is including some of the best face-off guys in the country. So how do you see that face-off X taking the next position up, especially with a guy like Chris?
Yeah, I mean, Chris now he's a sophomore, and he had a huge successful year and a learning curve in his first year. We got a little scare and thought he was, really injured, and he's slowly coming back now. And he's a focused young man. Thrilled to have him. And now Chris is focused on trying to be, the top in face-off percentage for us this year. He plays a huge role. Him knowing that he's flanked by Romano, Reicher, Riley, and a couple of new guys. And he's getting some pressure behind him, Connor Hall has done a good job, over the last 2 scrimmages, so we're looking forward to seeing that race kind of pan out.
You guys have had a couple of scrimmages before. You mentioned you go up to Syracuse. You have a couple of scrimmages at home, close to the public. What have you noticed as the head coach in the past couple of scrimmages that maybe you're ahead of where you thought you were, you're on pace for where you thought you were?
Yeah, I mean, I think, certainly the media knows, how I am.
Yeah.
This is my happy face, and that's just the way it is. We learned a few things up at Syracuse. We fell behind against Lemoyne early, and we didn't lose our cool. We kind of just poised and didn't even call a timeout and allowed the seniors to step up. And then for the next 3 quarters, we started to emerge of what was supposed to look like. And then Syracuse, we would like to have been a little bit more successful when we played against Syracuse. Got the first goal, thought we were scrapping at the face-off X. And then things unwound a little bit for us, and they're a powerful team this year. To not have a scout and play against them, is going to be a tough task for anybody. But here nor there, no excuses. We had to do a better job. I think that played a role in this past week's against Hobart and Rutgers. Again, we had a plan of how long we were going to play our first guys versus how long we were going to play our backup guys or the next set of guys. And I thought that those starters, they did what they were supposed to do, and we got up on Hobart a little bit, and as well as Rutgers. But two really great teams. Again, wish Coach Raymond up at Hobart and Coach Breck over at Rutgers best of luck this year.
Now, Coach, when it comes to this season in the conference and this season out of the conference, there's a couple things that you look at, you put the schedule together, there's changes all around, especially in the Colonial. Fairfield comes into the conference now, no longer have Penn State as they move to the new Big Ten conference for men's lacrosse. Would you consider this a season of change so much when it comes to the schedule and the way that it plays out, especially in the Colonial?
We're going to play a few different games, but certainly we've played Fairfield in the past. So, and they play like a CAA team. Andy Copeland is a wonderful coach. He's done a wonderful job up there. And every time Hofstra and Fairfield play, it's a battle, it's a brawl. He knows. And again, that's another CAA team that joined the CAA, even though they weren't CAA last year. So there are no layups, there are no easy games really throughout the country in any conference. Lacrosse is just getting popular at the high school level, at the youth level. Mm-hmm. So there's so much talent out there, and so Fairfield's in, and we'll see what happens, one game at a time. Again, we're not overlooking anybody, and we've got whatchamacallit, we've got a pretty focused one coming up against Marquette.
What do you think is the thing you're looking most forward to this year?
Yeah, we need to concentrate. I mean, again, that's one of those things. We just need to concentrate. I don't want to come off the field, and our staff doesn't want us to come off the field because of a mental situation. We make a physical play that didn't work out, a ball gets tipped. Those things happen in life. We're going to try to prevent them as best we can, but right now it's just concentrating and focus and just trying to understand what we're trying to do, and let's do that to the best of our ability as a team.
Finally, Coach, let's play a little fill-in-the-blank game, I guess you could say. Hofstra will win the Colonial Athletic Association if?
We stay healthy, we stay focused, and we follow the plan.
Coach, thanks so much for the time. This has been the WB Mason Coaches Report here on GoHofstra.com.